Just hit record, which means I'm officially going to be starting. Okay, there may be some more joining us. And like I said, I record these for those who can't join us. And right now I'm just on here. A few things I just want to say to you guys. I'll look into the camera now. I'm not looking around elsewhere. Is just a few things to think about. Maybe I better share the screen first because I'll be talking about things relating to our class. Okay, here we go. I'm going to go to class work here. Now, just for some of you might say, what's this up here, real contact info? I know I post it often, but a lot of times when people are in a hurry, they don't necessarily want to go digging through old posts trying to find my Google Voice number to text me or my email address. So I just made a separate section for real contact info, and I'm always going to keep it on top. So you just would click it. There's my Google Voice. That works great with texting. You know, I'd really, you guys, especially if you're on my attendance list, and you know who you are if you are, if you can just send me a text so I get your number to text and we can keep in touch that way. And there's questions or anything, that works great. You can call it, but I'm not likely to answer. So you'd have to leave a message. And there's my email. And people do use that, and that's okay. And I do check it. So that works out good. The better thing about text and email is text tends to keep a lot of our messages together. So if I talked to you a week ago and then maybe a week before that, I keep it together better than with email. So, but either way, whatever works for you. Now I put one assignment in a week ahead. This isn't due till next week, and it'll be due next Tuesday. So it's earlier part of next week. But the event was on Tuesday. Apple had a big event. They do these a few times a year. They announce products. And some of you might say, well, Mr. Rio, you're doing that so we can learn about the new iPhone 12 and that. Partially, yes. Okay, it's always good to be aware of some of the devices coming out and technology and changes. And there's a few other things they announced besides iPhones. Okay. Somebody trying that out? Okay. Yeah, thank you. I know you might have thought, does this work on Mr. Rio's screen? I didn't know, so apparently it does. So if we were doing something collaborative and I need you to circle some or highlight something, we can do that. But in the meantime, part of it is to learn a little bit about the technology in the iPhones, which you may or may not be interested in. But almost more importantly, yeah, Luke's going to highlight what I'm talking about there. More importantly is the how do they do a multimedia presentation? Apple's always been very, very good at this. Now, in a normal year, they would do a presentation on a stage in front of an audience. And while they're talking, it's more than one person comes out and talks. They have video, they have pictures, they have graphs, they have charts, they have audio sometime. And that's what I mostly want you to get out of it, how they do such a nice job doing a multimedia presentation. Because in a couple of weeks, we're going to be doing multimedia presentations. You guys are going to make one about yourself using PowerPoint. So you get a little idea of, now granted, a presentation about yourself is not the same thing as Apple talking about iPhones. But there are some things in common, like how to use pictures and graphics and things to go with whatever information you want to share. So I put it up early because it was going to be live on Tuesday. Some people may have wanted to watch it live, and maybe they did. But if you don't watch it live, you can find it on Apple's website. You can find it on Apple's YouTube channel, and I'm sure there's other places on the web you could find it. But back to this week. Now, this may look like a lot. Some of you may look at this and say, oh, Mr. Rio, there's a bunch there. I already talked about this a little bit Monday. 3 of these aren't even real assignments. They're just things we'll watch this little 1-minute video. You don't have to turn anything in. And it's a fun and interesting video about 25 years of photos.
Mudhole.
And that was 5 years ago. Then this next here, digital photo editing project, this here is just to get Adobe Photoshop. So you can either get Software Center on your computer, or you can get the free trial here. Now, here's some really good news I just found out about, and I'll post some information about it in the near future. With our school login, that's you and me, we can now get any of the Adobe Creative Suite stuff, I could still call it Creative Suite, they now call it Creative Cloud. That includes Photoshop, that includes Premiere Pro, that includes many other outstanding programs. We now get any of it for free. How do you do that? You gotta use a school login. You gotta set up an Adobe account with your school email. That's what I did. Then I went to purchase it. And when I went to purchase it, I clicked on Enterprise and Business, I think it's called. And I used the login from school, and it let me go all the way through without ever actually having to buy anything. And I use it and open it and download it. So you can get better than a 14-day free trial if you got your own computer. You can get it, any of them, all you want. And that includes other programs too. So I just thought I'd let you know about that. These lesson files, I mentioned this the other day in case anyone missed it. I could have just put those with the lesson that's above this because that's what they're for. But I was testing something on Google Classroom where they got, you know, materials for class type of post. So these are materials we can use in class. And there are 3 images you're going to use for the lesson above. So I just shared them this way. Okay. Next thing. This is your big one. Well, those that are in class, either H group or C group, if they weren't absent, we did this.
Buttholes.
Okay. Luke, you got a question? Okay. Now, this one here, I did a tutorial, which is the same thing they're doing in class. And you're going to take those images. You're going to learn a little bit about Photoshop. So you got to get it on your computers. Photoshop likes a decent computer and a fair amount of memory. So those of you using it on your school Windows computers, good luck with that because those are not really designed for Photoshop. But the assignment is simple. So it doesn't take a lot of processing once you open it. If you do it on another computer or device, you know, that's okay too. And yes, they do make a Photoshop for iPad if you can figure it out, and they may have some for your phones. If you can open the high school picture, edit it a little bit, put in some text, Harper Creek High School on it, save it, share it as a PNG format, and submit it. That I don't care what you do it in. So it's fairly easy once you figure it out. There might be a few challenges with getting it to open on your computer and getting started because I don't have all the screens you might have to click through or sign in through or make decisions on. And yours might look a tiny bit different than mine. So, but it shouldn't be too hard. The 2 word assignments, this one was just like continuing that tutorial we did like last week. It's actually a little shorter. It's only 20 minutes. You make a document in that tutorial. It's not hard. It's very easy. Just follow along and then submit that when you have it done. The one with the paragraphs, there are 2 tutorials. One is what I made. That's the one over here on the right. And then there's one about, it's only 3 minutes about using paragraph formatting in a Word for Windows. This one you can look at, but I think this one's going to be more useful to you. Once you know how to open up the paragraph dialog box, that's mostly what you need. Because these files here, they're both very similar assignments. They got basically 3 paragraphs to format. So what you do is you type all your text first. Okay, just line it up, single space, nothing fancy. Then you highlight this one up here and you open up the paragraph dialog box and you make a, if you watch the tutorial, you make a 1/3 of an inch first line indent. You do a 1.5 inch spacing between the lines and you do a left alignment, real easy. And I show you how you can copy this onto this one with just 2 clicks. Then for this middle one, it's a little bit more complicated, but not too much. You highlight it or click in it, either one will work. You do an indent, first line indent in Word, you make it single space. You indent the entire paragraph. Now, when I did a tutorial, an inch was a little too much on each side. So I ended up doing like 0.7 of an inch on each side. And then you, you know, you put this here if you don't have access to it. That's, I think, yeah, you guys got the PDF. We got this PDF done. Okay, so that take a little bit more effort, but it's not hard. This one here, like I said, I show you a shortcut, how to click up here, use the format painter, which looks like a paintbrush, and then just drag across here and it'll copy the same formatting for here. So the other one's just like it. And my tutorial takes you through that. So that's it for the week. If you use your time wisely, spread things out a little bit, budget some time each day, real easy to knock out. You knock it out by the weekend, have your weekend off without worrying about anything, which brings me back to due dates. With rare exception, I put assignments up by 9 a.m. Monday morning, oftentimes before that. This past week was a rare exception. Something came up and I had to post something later in the day on Monday, but that's pretty rare. Then the earliest due dates I make, if it goes up at that time, would be a Thursday. So right there, you got Monday, you got Tuesday, you got Wednesday, and all day Thursday till midnight. So even if you don't count Monday, that's Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. It's 3 full days of 18-hour or more days you're awake to do whatever you do on just Thursday. Then often there might be something due on Friday or 2 things due on Friday or something due on Saturday. Sometimes there's something due on Sunday. So if you spread it out and you get an early start, you don't have to do anything on the weekend. You can get everything done by Thursday or so pretty easily. But if you want to, if you get busy during the week and you need to do it, that's why I usually give those deadlines on Saturday or on Sunday. So, so check the deadlines, do your best. And when you are in a bind and need that extra day or something comes up, just contact me. It happens all the time. Students, you know, they have to go out of town at the last minute they didn't plan on. They get sick, their internet goes down, whatever it may be. Just contact me if you need an extra day or two and we'll talk about it. Okay, if you got any questions, go ahead and put it in the chat or unmute yourself and ask. And if you don't, then then we're pretty much done here. Any questions on anything? Everyone get Photoshop? Everyone okay with the Photoshop lesson and all that? Okay. Okay, that's it. We are done. I'm going to stop sharing my screen. I'm going to say goodbye to everybody. If you want to say goodbye or unmute yourself and say goodbye, that'd be nice. Enjoy your 4-day weekend. If you get your work done in advance, you won't have anything to do on the weekend. If you do more, you have time on the weekend, it's a good time to catch up. Some of you I've been in touch with about catching up. Okay, take care. Have a good day. I'm going to end the meeting.